So open the question. Once you open, you let me know so that we just do it very fast. You open that question, then we just do very fast. We're doing question in the sitting of August 2024 BDA, question 25. 24 BDA, question 25. The question that we're doing. So you can open that. Once you open, you let me know. We just proceed. We're doing on loan amortization. I will also do on what we call the goal seek. So loan amortization, and we'll also do goal seek.
So I mean was
I'm hoping everyone is already ready. I'm hoping everyone is ready. No one is commenting. So I just okay, we're doing what we call the loan amortization. So we're doing what we call the loan amortization. Now, when we talk about the loan amortization, generally is where you borrow money, and you want to to know the amount, the total interest that you pay, the total installment payment. When I talk of installment payment, is the equal amount that you make throughout the year, the years up to the end of the what? Up to the end of the loan period. So in our case here, what we are required is the on loan amortization is just borrowing it from the financial management for those that have done what we call the CPA. For those that have done the what we call the CFA is in what we call the Introduction to Finance and Investments, under the topic we call the time value of money. So it is one of the questions that was tested in this BDA paper, August 2024. When we see how we're supposed to do so, we'll also share with you another paper of financial modeling where they were also able to ask on the same question. We see still how we're supposed to do in such cases. So we can just begin with this question, where you are given that minority Were has recently been thinking of buying his dream car a few years after joining Rafiki Circle. Having established a Mercedes E-Class vehicle would cost between shillings 2.7 to 3 million. He approached the circle for a loan of 2 million, with the difference to come from the sale of his current car, with a current market resale value of 1 million. The circle confirmed that Manoti Were qualifies for a loan and Were willing to advance him a new loan under the following terms and conditions. Being given the loan amount, the period of payment, and we also have the repayment frequency, which is monthly. So that means if in this case we want to know how many times he's going to make the payments if it's monthly, in this case I'll just know the period by taking the 5 years. I multiply by 12. So this is all you do. You say is equals. You take the 5 years. So you will take the 5 years, you just multiply the multiplication here. Sorry. So you just take the 5 years, you multiply by 12. We know a year is having 12. So you just 5, you multiply by 12. So is equals 5, you multiply by 12. That means you will pay if in 60 installments. The 60 installment, because in it is making a payment each month. Then also here we have the interest rates. This is the annual interest rates. We need to know the interest rate per month. It just says equals 12, I divide by what? 11, I divide by 12. So division, divide by 12 is equals. That is the rate. That is the rate here, the rate. So you can reduce the decimal to around there, the decimal point. So the ones on Roma, the loan is to be repaid on a monthly basis. First installment is due at the end of the first month after loan disbursement. Manoti Wele has approached you for advisors. He does not understand how the repayment amounts and interest on the loan are arrived at. So you are required using the appropriate MXL function. You confirm to Manoti Wele that indeed the monthly repayment of 485 is actually what? Correct. So I just have the solution here. So this is it. Generally, the monthly in payment here is what we call the installment payment. And when we talk of installment payment is the equal amount that you will be paying all through. The equal amount that you will be paying all through. And then we know if it's an equal amount, then under the time value of money, we call it the annuity. And therefore, for us to get the installment payment here, which is now the amount that he is supposed to pay monthly, the installment payment, that is what we want to confirm to Were. I'll just say is equals here. You just type PMT. Now PMT calculates the payments on a loan based on constant payments and a constant interest rate. So that is what we type, PMT. Now PMT, they want us we put the rate. So I just click here. That is our rate, comma, NPER. This is the period. Want it in how many periods? 60 months. You put a comma. Then they want the present value. This is the amount borrowed, the loan. I put a bracket. That way. You close the brackets. That way. And then you can place enter. So if you look at this is in a negative. So for it to be in a positive, I'll just put I'll start with a negative here. That way. Na tutoe the dollar sign. Unaweka tu the general, which is generally the shillings here. That is the amount that in this case is supposed to pay. If I reduce it, I can reduce it to the same year, which you just reduce that. So if you look at that, that is the amount that is still here, 43,485. 43,485, that way. So that is on Roman number 1. Roman number 2, they want us to prepare a monthly loan amortization schedule for the above loan for Manoti, Wele, to see how the loan clears by the end of 5 years. So here we need column for the period, monthly repayment, the principal, interest, and we'll also need for the loan balance. So I can add, these are 60. So I can just do the question here by inserting 60 rows. So I need around how many? Now those are 60. I need around 62. So you just click there, then insert. Think I can just insert around 60 of them that way. Around 60 of them. And again, also remember, it not a must you do the question in the questionnaire. You can also create another sheet here to show the workings. Also, like, however, in my case, I don't want to do that, but you can create a sheet here for workings. And the sheet, you call it, come on, question 22, you say question 22 solution. It has no problem with that. So this is how a loan amortization should be. Should start with the period. We'll also have what we call the balance as at the beginning. This is what we call the balance brought down. Then we'll have the monthly repayment, which in this case is our installment payment. Monthly repayment. I will also have the interest. The interest. Then I will also have here what we call we'll also have the principal. Principal amount, this is the part of loan that is paid. And then we'll also have the loan balance. This is the balance as at the end, which I can call it the balance carried down. Balance carried down. So that is how this one should be. You can also underline it that way. So that we want for how many periods? 60. So I can just put the 60 periods, type 1, 2, then you can do autofill. You highlight the first one and number 1 and number 2. And then on the far corner, you place the cursor, you do the autofill. Remember, these are some of the things that we were able to talk about in our first part, where we were talking about the introduction. So that is up to 60. So I don't even require these other one. So I can also delete them that way. So it is for 60 periods. So we know the loan balance as at the beginning is 14. We also know the installment. The installment is this amount that we computed here. That is our installment. So on installment here, you can fix it. And I said on fixing, you just place F4 that way. If your F4 is not working, FN F4, you fix that. FN F4. You fix the installment payment. Then we get the interest. Interest should be this rate here. And since we'll be multiplying by the first amount, you will just also fix it. Fixing F and F4, or you place F4. You multiply by the amount as at the start. That is the balance brought down that way. Then here you'll also get the principal. Now, when you make the monthly installments of 43, you are paying for both the interest and also what we call in the principal. And I talk of principal is the part of the loan. So in this case, the principal should be given by the installment payment, you minus the principal, that one. I mean, the installment payment, you minus the interest, you get the principal. So that if this is a part of the loan that you are paid, means that the balance will be the balance as at the beginning, you minus what in this case you paid during the year, which in this case it will give you the balance as at the end. We'll also bring the balance as at the end here. This one to be there. Installment payment, this one, you fix it as I said that way, then enter. Then you can also get the interest here. Interest will be this rate again. You multiply the rate first, you also fix, remember to fix. So this is the FNF4 or F4. If your FNF4 is not working, you use F4 as I say. So you multiply the amount as at the beginning and then you enter. Take the principal here will be given by the monthly repayment. You minus the interest. Monthly repayment minus the interest. And then the amount as at the end, say is equals. Amount as at the beginning, you minus the amount as at the end, that way. Once you do that, you just come here, you highlight in the second period. Then you place your cursor on the far corner here. And then you double click. At the end of it, you see the balance will just be 0. By doing that, you are done with loan amortization. Hivyo tu. Na hiyo ndo ilikuwa inakupea marks ngapi? 12. In less than 5 minutes, you are done. That is a loan amortization schedule. I'm hoping kila mtu amefanya hivyo na the balances at the end should be 0 because umemaliza that loan. Any question on that? Any question? Is everyone getting the same? Imekupea the same value ama imekupea different? Let me redo it again. Probably for Mercury to understand. So this is up to this point, Immaculate, is it okay? Or I just start from this first one? I can clear all these. Let me just clear that. Evo 2. Now this is what I've said. The monthly installment is what he pays each month. And at the end of each month, in this case, is supposed to pay 43,485. So I've said once you do that, you can fix. You place FN and F4. Venye tu unafanyanga shift. Ama kama yako inafanya F4, you just place F4 peke yake. Once you do that, you enter. Then you look at the interest. Interest should be this monthly interest. You fix it, FN, F4. Then you multiply by the amount as at the beginning. Remember, the loan interest is based on the amount as at the start. The amount as at the start. That way, you place enter. Then the principal should be the monthly installment here, which is 43. You minus the interest. Interest is here, you place enter. Once you do that, the amount as at the end should be given by the amount as at the beginning. You minus the principal here, and you bring the amount at the end in month 1 will be the amount at the beginning in the second month. So you'll also do the same, is equals the installment payment, you fix it, FN, F4. I guess I'm using FN, F4, then enter. Then you say is equals here. The interest will be the rate here. The rate, you fix FN, F4. You multiply by the amount as at the beginning. And ensure before the multiplication here, you are beginning with the rate. Kama hivyo ndo umeanza. Ukianza na the amount as at the beginning, make sure that you multiply by the rate and you fix on the rate. So I am beginning with the rate, then you place enter. So in this case, the installment payment will be is equals this 43, you minus 18. You minus that 18, enter. Then the amount as at the end will be the amount as at the beginning. You minus the principal payment. The force. Minus the principal payment, that way. Said once you do the second one, you highlight in the second month. And then you take your cursor on the far corner here. Hapo kuna msaraba, you left click or double click that way. Kiteremka hapo utapata imebaki nini? 0. That is a loan amortization. I'm hoping everyone is getting that. Is everyone getting the same? So we proceed. Immaculate, you are okay? All right. So we can continue. We can continue. Now, the second question here, you are given that, so up to this point, you have 14 marks. So the second in here, you are given that as a customer service centric circle, the circle members are allowed to vary the loan terms to their preferences as long as it is aligned to the loan terms. So help Manoti Were to fill the table below with the correct repayment period and amount in the columns E, C, D respectively, that allows him to make a monthly repayment of 35,000 or not the proposed 43,500. That is it. Now, generally, here we use an Excel build-up tool. We call it the goal seek. Hivi imeandika hivi, tunaitanga the goal seek. Now, goal seek allows you to find the input value needed to achieve a specific goal or output. That is when we use what we call the goal seek. So in our case, the goal here, tunataka make sure that the repayment, the monthly installment that is going to make will be of 35,000. That it will be of 35,000. So I can just copy all these. Let me copy this information here. Copy that. Can have it here. The information first. Yeah, that way. So now, let me reduce that. So when you talk about the goal seek here, if you look at data analysis here, you click on data analysis here. Kikuja hapa what if analysis, you will see this goal seek. Ndio naongelelea hapa, the goal seek. Sawa sawa. So inakwambianga select a cell, then value. Then unaipeleka mali unataka hiyo value ikue. Sawa sawa. So this is it. We'll just come here. This is on column C, and we also want the column what? D. So in this case, the monthly installment here, we want it to be 35. Sindio? What are they asking here? So hapa ni, we need to fill what? Column C and D that allows him to make a what? Yes, so now this is it. We want to know the monthly installment based on if he makes a payment of 35,000. So this is what I do. I'll just come here, data analysis, then I will go to what if, goal seek. Now the cell, which in this case is here. Now to what value? Now this is the monthly installment, remember? This is the monthly installment. So this cell, I want it to be the 35,000. That way. Wait. Yes, 35,000. And this is by changing which cell? Fanya vizuri. Sorry. By changing this one, instead of it being 45 to be 35, that way. And then you say, oh yeah, I did a mistake here. It should be oh, there is some mistake I've done. Let me change on that a little bit. Can clear the data. This is 10 months, the monthly installments. So, so so we know here is a chance amount is right now is charging 43. Let me is showing with percentages. It's okay. I will remove the percentage. $43. This is the installment payment. 485. Let me remove this percentage here. So let me just copy this information again here. All this information, you can copy it here. Can have it somewhere here. That way. So here I can have this is the monthly rate. I mean the annual rate. Let me have it as a monthly. Let me have it as a monthly rate. Monthly rate. Can have it that way. Which in this case should be is equals 11%. I divide by 12, sorry. That way. That should be around 1%. The period here should be the years, which in this case, since it is repaid monthly, I can just have here a number of periods. The number of periods there. So number of periods which is monthly. have the information, this information up to this point. So that now we do. Just copy this data. Ensure you have that data. Sure you have this data. Ensure you have this data. So now we apply the gold streak. If you're done, let me know. We proceed. You're done copying that. Ensure that you have the monthly rate. You also have the number of periods and then the loan amount. So that now, here I show you how we do it. Once you're done, let me know. So now this is the question here. Now tunataka akilipa 35,000 hapa, hii loan ina qualify kukwaya what amount? Hiyo ndo tunajiuliza. What will be the loan amount akilipa na 35,000? Again, akilipa na hiyo 35,000, how long is it going to take, the period? Hiyo ndo tunajiuliza. Is that okay? Or in this case, is generally on the rate and also the period. Hiyo tu ndo tunafaa kutafuta, the loan rate and then the period. So now that I'm having this, I'll just put my cursor here. I'll just go to what we call the goal seek data. You go to what we call the what if analysis. Then you will have the goal seek. What if analysis, then you'll have the goal seek. So in this case, is the goal that you want to seek is this one, monthly repayment. Nataka ikuwe 35. From this is set the sell from that to 35,000. What do I want to change? Mi nataka hii badilike, the loan amount itabaki ya ngapi? Then you say okay. Fanya nini? I've said set up value, this one. I want it to change to that. And I say okay. It must contain a formula. Ni sawa. Haya, hii tufanye tu the way we do it using the formula PMT. So is equals the PMT. We are looking for installment payment. The rate is there, comma, period is 60, comma, then the value here, and you close the brackets. Say this should start with a negative, equal to negative, and that is it. So now if I go to goal seek, yeah, I will go to data, goal seek, go to data, goal seek. So hii ndo nataka ikuje 35, that one nataka ikuje 35 hivyo 35,000. Nikichange the amount of loan, so hii atakuwa analipa ngapi? So loan itakuwa ya ngapi? Hii. So this is what will be our loan here. So I'll have the loan amount. So akilipa 35, the total loan in 60 days atalipa ndio hiyo. That is the total loan that he is going to pay. Now the other one here, period is still 60 year. You have this is 1%. Should be not 1, should be 11. The 12% there. Aya, tuendelee hii ingine. Now we also want to know let me copy this to this side here. Now let's see also how about the term to maturity here. It has changed to how many days? That is also what we want to know, how in this case it will be able to change. So this is how you'll also do. I think I didn't copy the original one. Tukitumia hii itatudanganya. Let me repeat again. Now that one there. So then let me do it now. The goal seek. I've said you go to data. What if goal seek? This is what you want it to change. This is 35. I want it to be 35. So nataka kujua analipa hii loan ita change to how much? That way. Oh yeah, it is not a formula again. Let me repeat the formula here. So it should be equals to PMT the rate is 1, 60, then 2 million. Yeah, it must be I've used bracket there, then enter. So it is a negative. I said you begin with a negative that way. So that is it. So goal seek, what if I go to goal seek? This is what I want to change. I want it to be 35,000. Nijue nitakuwa nalipa loan inatoshana aje. That way, then you place okay. Okay. So this is a loan that I will be able to pay. See, because there is a loan that will be the loan that I'm expecting to pay. The other thing is on the time, the months. So I will also come here again. Can also have this again here, copy here, and copy this here. This was I just returned this as it was, the 45,000. So that is and this is equals to 200 that way. I've done some mistake there. Let me repeat them again. This is equals so PMT. It must contain a formula as we've been told. 60. Then this is a period. That way. So now if the monthly interest rate is 1%, the annual rate should be 12%. Oh yeah, it should be 12%. But in our case, we are using the monthly rate. I'm not using the total rate. Just know that I'm using the monthly rate. I'm using the monthly rate, not the total rate. Is that okay? Let me check formulas first. So I'm hoping, let me just review this again for us to understand. Let me just do it a little bit clearly. So I escape clear content. Look here, the question is here. A customer-centric is the circle members are allowed to vary the loan terms to their preferences. So as long as it is aligned to the loan terms, help Manoti well to fill the table below with the correct repayment period and a loan amount. Or here it is only as to this. The correct repayment period is on column C. Loan amount is on column D, respectively. That allows him or for him to make a monthly repayment of what? 35,000. So this is where what I said. We just come here, we copy these. I'll copy that. I'll just copy that. Yeah. Let me just have it here. That is the information that is here. So this is the loan amount. We have the period here. I can have here the number of periods, which in this case, we know it is that one. I can also have the other one is what? The monthly rate. Let me have the monthly rate. Monthly rate here, it will be is equals. This you divide by 12. Because that is the monthly rate. You can just increase the decimal points that way. That way. Then we have the other one is monthly repayment. So here we use a formula. Monthly repayment will be given by is equals PMT. And remember I said you start with a negative. So minus PMT. I'll have it here. The rate is here, monthly, comma. Period is, or the number of periods at Jaeka. This should have been 60. So let me put the number of periods here. Should be 60. Or generally, you just say is equals 5, you multiply by 12, that way. So this is it. Monthly repayment will be is equals minus PMT. The PMT. The rate here we have is the 1%, comma. The period is 60 days, comma. And then you can have the amount that way. This one has to be a formula. That is why they're talking about the same. So this should be general. So I just come here, I click on number that way. So once you do the repayment, now we want the goal seek. Remember here, for the loan amount, tunataka kujua akilipa 35, anapaa kulipa loan inatoshana aje. So our goal is, our objective is to ensure he pays 35,000 in 60 days, in 60 months. And in our case, what you don't know is the total amount of loan that he's going to pay in those 6 months. That is where I said we introduce the concept of goal seek. I say is equals, not is equals. I place my cursor there. You go to data, goal seek. Yeah. What do I want to, this, you set the value. Ni nini unataka I change this one. Then you'll want to change it to what value? 35. Hiyo yenye anataka kulipa una deal. Then in this case is changing to by which cell. Hii ndio nataka ibadilike, the loan amount. So itakuwa ngapi? So I say okay. So the loan now yenye atalipa which is in our column D, anapaa kulipa hiyo. This is when he's now paying at how much? That when he's paying at when he's paying the loan at 35, and the number of periods here, it will remain the same, so it is not going to change to be 60. The number of the interest is also not going to change to be 11% per annum. And then the monthly repayment here, itakuwa hiyo 35. That is it. Whatever, we want to know the month. If the amount is not changing, atalipa na for how many months? This is how we'll do. I'll also do the same here. And just copy the same data here. And just paste the same data there. This is the amount was 2M. That is the amount. This is 11%. This will be minus the PMT. The rate is 1, comma. We have the period is 60, comma, and we have the amount here this way. And so now we want to know how much will it change. If it's a period, it will change to how much. So this is it. You just come here. You'll also do the same. Goal seek. Kuja hapa. Now hapa tunaangalia period. You know now this is the set. You set the cell to change. Do you? To how much? 35,000. And what do you want it to change? Tunataka this period. So it will change to how much? So it will be 81. So this is now the period here. It will just be is equals 81. Or you can reduce the days. Inakuja ngapi? Let me reduce the decimal. So this will be 81 days. We continue. If you want again the rate, it change. You'll also do the same. Copy this other one here again. You copy here. So if you want now the rate to change, so you just come here again. This should be 60 days. Now hiyo tukibadilisha nayo itakuwaje? What will be now the rate? So it will be is equals yeah. I mean, sorry, you go to the data, goal seek, whatever analysis, goal seek. So here it is now this. Nataka ibadilike. Sorry, is equal 35,000. Then nataka I change in these interest rates by changing that value. Say okay. So hii itakuwa ngapi? This is a rate. It will be is equals. This is the rate. Remember, we want it per annum, so I multiply by 12. Sorry. So this is equals, the rate is here, 0, multiply by 12. Where is it? Multiply by 12. unapata the annual rate hivyo tu. So this is what will be our annual rate. That is how we do the goals hivyo tu. So any question? Any question on that? So if everyone is okay, then I will share with you one question you go and do. Probably if you'll be having any issue with that given question, I will come and redo it. Then we proceed. So let me share with you in the groups a question that you'll do, and then we'll continue from there. So in the next class, we do the capital budgeting. Capital budgeting. So we continue from there.